Hello there. I decided to do it. Why not? Lethal Weapon. A lot of people have reviewed Lethal Weapon as a very popular film. Even today it's a popular film. And it's a damn good one. Mel Gibson, Danny Duffer, Danny DeBussy as the villain. It has a lot. And as we know, in 1987, it was a damn good day for thrillers. I say it again. It was a damn good day for thrillers. And this was the same day when Lethal Weapon come out. Now you remember me saying that I might be doing Christmassy films? You could say this is part of a Christmassy film. Because how does it start off? You got a deep, beautiful song. Jingle bells, jingle bells, rock. Jingle bells, whoa. And I'm not going to do the rest because I'll kill the song. But you've got that, and you've got that team and that chopper's do. Date, like a date error. You had to see tits. And it's not about a naked woman. Pretty to look at, but it's not all about her. You say the story is about her though, because she falls herself off a sky-high building. That's right, she falls herself off a sky-high building. You know the film. That's when you see Danny Duffer make his first appearance. Now in the long run, I always looked at the original Lethal Weapon as being more of a thriller. It does have action moments in it, but I look at it as being more of a thriller. Lethal Weapon 2 was definitely a lot more action, and as you know, the other sequels were more action. But I always looked at the first Lethal Weapon as a thriller. It does have some comedy moments in it, and it has more of a buddy cop. And in many ways, people got on about Miami Vice, the movie, the remake film, which I fucking hate. I hate. But they already did Miami Vice, the remake film. It was called Lethal Weapon. Lethal Weapon, done by the same director what did, let's say, The Omen. He also did Superman the movie, and this became a big hit. Back in 1987, this was a big hit. And in all fairness, you know, Mel Gibson was still a Rossi actor, made it big with the Mad Maxes. And 2 years before he did this, he did Mad Max but on Thunderdome. So this was Mel Gibson hitting it big now in America. Again, as you know, it's Danny Duffer's birthday, celebrating his 50th. I think he mentioned his 50th birthday. And he meets his new partner, that being Mel Gibson, being Rix. And it's a who's done it. You know the film, it's a who's done it. He tried to do kill herself. And you find out she didn't kill herself. And she wouldn't have thought she was Superwoman, because it wasn't really suicide. In all fairness, her eyes are fucking tight. She was on drugs, right? She was snorting coke, not the one you drink. And she thought she could fly. You know, her eyes are tight. She thought she could fly, and she threw herself off a high building. But had it wouldn't have been that, them drugs would have killed her. They would have killed her. Because you find out it's just more than just a dirty who thought she was Superwoman and thought she could fucking fly. You've had drug dealers, but not just any drug dealers. These are mercenaries. I say it again. Mercenaries. And that's what the film is. It's a ride to see die, and it goes pace to pace, and it goes at a beautiful speed. The film, in my eyes, Lethal Weapon, goes at a beautiful speed. I do have a few issues, like Danny DeBussy. I wish he was in it a lot more, because I loved the scene in it where you got one villain. Remember the villain who I said was in Halloween 6? Halloween 6. He's in this as the main villain. But you got Danny DeBussy, he gets hold of his guy, says, "Do you smoke? Do you smoke?" Taps his guy's arm, and Danny DeBussy taps his guy's arm, I should say. He's got a lighter on, he taps his arm with a lighter, and Danny DeBussy puts his arm like that, and he's burning his fucking arm. It's like that. You know, doesn't give a fuck. And I love it. I love it. And let's not forget the iconic song, which sad to say on DVD, right? There was an original music video back in the day. Why is it not on the DVD? Why is it not on the DVD? Because there was a song called by Honeymoon Suite. Say it again. Honeymoon Suite sang the theme to this, called Lethal Weapon. Beautiful, beautiful song. You've ever heard it? I've even got it on my hard drive. On my laptop, as I speak, I've got the original music video by Honeymoon Suite called Lethal Weapon. You're my lethal weapon. Do 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 do. And I never even knew it had a song until I saw it. You know, when it was on TV, they cut some of it down and some of the violence down. But you can see it now when it's that Lethal Weapon, and it's a good one. I think that Mel Gibson and Danny Glover in the first outing in Lethal Weapon, they got to hit it off. They got to hit it off. It was like brilliant, just brilliant. And it's funny when you think about it, Lethal Weapon, you could say that the first one, that Danny Glover was more the lead, and as the sequels went on, Mel Gibson was. And as you know, Mel Gibson, he's playing a cop, and he's over the edge. You know, he's over the edge. He's psychotic, and he's suicidal. I mean, you remember the scene? He gets a guy who's suicidal. He says, "Do you want to jump? Do you?" "Well, I do, arsehole. Let's jump." Funny, just a funny scene, because you think that if you've seen it, you think he's going to change his mind. He's going to help the guy out, and he's going to, he's going to change, and he doesn't. But there's a fuck up in that film. Everybody who knows it. There's a fuck up, because the scene where he's going to jump off the high building, right? And he's got the handcuffs on the guy who's suicidal, and he jumps off that big building. You do actually gently, if you watch that carefully, you do actually see the handcuffs come off the guy, and he has to hold his hand dead fast, hoping the camera wouldn't have seen it. But technology, you do actually see the fuck up. The scene where, as I say, Mel Gibson gets caught by the villains, and Mel Gibson gets tortured, and Danny Glover gets tortured, but Mel Gibson's a badass. He's a badass. I mean, and the Chinese guy was the same guy who was in Big Trouble in Little China. He's been in a lot of films. I love to see when he gets him and he snaps his fucking neck, because he's a badass. Mel Gibson in this, he's psychotic, he's suicidal, but in many ways you've got to feel for him, because the character Ritz, right, his wife died. In the film, his wife died, and there's a scene in it where he puts a gun to his mouth. It does to sort of cut it down when it first come on TV. You don't see it in the mouth, but you can see it now. And he puts a gun to his mouth, and he's got this fucking cartoon, and it's like, come on, mate, we know Christmas is sloppy and it makes you want to vomit Dago, and the cartoon is a bit Jewified. It's not that fucking bad, mate, you want to do that. But it's not about the cartoon. It's because he lost his wife, and the last thing you want is ho 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 down your fucking heroes, especially when you're living on your fucking sod. But it's a good film. He's good. Mel Gibson in this is good. He's a badass, and it goes with the song. You're my lethal weapon. Bow, 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 bow. Again by Honeymoon Suite. Again, he has an epic fight with Charlie Boosie. How can you not forget the fucking fight scene? How can you not forget it? He's fighting with Charlie Boosie, and he's fucking doing this. He's got fucking this, them fucking, them sticks what the bobbies use, and he's using that. And I do remember, and this is a true story, that the two actors, Charlie Boosie and Mel Gibson, they improvised that fight scene when they did it, because they rehearsed it, and they did it, they did it safe, because then at the end of the day it's only acting, and they rehearsed it, and everything, but on the night when they was about to film it, they've forgotten it. They fucking forgot it. So some of that was improvised on the spot when he's doing the karate scenes and he's throwing him about. And again, you've got Tom Hanks, the one who did Halloween 3. Halloween 3. He's in this fucking film. That's right, he's in this film as well. He gets shot, and he was actually the father of the girl that threw herself down to her death. He was the dad. He was the dad of that girl. He told the story about the mercenaries, and he was working for them. So he was actually a good guy himself, and he just gets shot up and dies in this film. I do remember it's like dark in areas, but it's a damn good thriller. To me, the original Lethal Weapon was more of a thriller. It went more action. It does have comedy moments in it, but to me, the others went more action as it goes on, And Danny Glover's daughter gets kidnapped. There's a shootout in the nightclub. Epic fight scene. The baddies get killed. Let's not forget the scene with the car. It's that fucking bus. Love it. I just love it, and I love the ending. You got that song by Elvis. I'll come home for Christmas. And then you got that song again, what I keep saying, Honeymoon Suite. So back in 87, Lethal Weapon, it was a big hit. And it was a big hit, it made 3 more sequels, it made a TV series. So how excited I'm about that one. And in many ways, I was not a lover, and I will say it again, I was not a lover of Miami Vice, the movie, the remake with Devin fucking Farrell. You know what I think about him. You fucking know. But to me, they already did it. They already did the remake film. It was called Lethal Weapon. Think about Miami Vice, the first ever episode with first ever episode, and they didn't get along in it, and then that's just it went on. They were doing buddies, Dom Johnson, I don't think it's the fucking actor's name, Dom Johnson, he's going to get along with his partner in the very first episode, and then as it goes on, they become best mates. That was fucking this. Danny Duffer was half and half about Mel Gibson's character as Ricks, and as it goes on, they become mates, and I love it. And that's all I'm going to say. Until then, have a nice one, and be safe.